Hi guys. It's Patriot Day, and speaking of Patriot Day, let me tell you about 9/11. The September 11th attacks, or the 9/11, were a series of 4 coordinated terrorist attacks by the Islamic terrorist group Al-Qaeda against the United States on the morning of Tuesday, September 11, 2001. The attacks killed 2,996 people, injured over 6,000 others, and caused at least $10 billion in infrastructure and property damage. Additional people died of 9/11 related cancer and respiratory diseases in the months and years following the attacks. 4 passenger airliners operated by 2 major U.S. passenger air carriers, United Airlines and American Airlines, all of which departed from airports in the northeastern United States bound for San Francisco and Los Angeles, were hijacked by 19 Al-Qaeda terrorists. 2 of the planes, American Airlines Flight 11 and United Airlines Flight 175, were crashed into the North and South Towers, respectively, of the World Trade Center complex in Lower Manhattan, within an hour and 42 minutes. Both 110-story towers collapsed. Debris and the resulting fires caused a partial or complete collapse of all other buildings in the World Trade Center complex, including the 47-story 7 World Trade Center tower, as well as significant damage to 10 other large surrounding structures. A third plane, American Airlines Flight 77, was crashed into the Pentagon, the headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense, in Arlington County, Virginia, which led to a partial collapse of the building's west side. The fourth plane, United Airlines Flight 93, was initially flown toward Washington, D.C., but crashed into a field in Stony Creek Township near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, after its passengers thwarted the hijackers. 9/11 is the single deadliest terrorist attack in human history and the single deadliest incident for firefighters and law enforcement officers in the history of the United States, with 343 and 72 killed, respectively. Suspicion quickly fell on Al-Qaeda. The United States responded by launching the War on Terror and invading Afghanistan to depose the Taliban, which had failed to comply with U.S. demands to extradite Osama bin Laden and expel Al-Qaeda from Afghanistan. Many countries strengthened their anti-terrorism legislation and expanded the powers of law enforcement and intelligence agencies to prevent terrorist attacks. Although Osama bin Laden, Al-Qaeda's leader, initially denied any involvement, in 2004 he claimed responsibility for the attacks. Al-Qaeda and bin Laden cited U.S. support of Israel, the presence of U.S. troops in Saudi Arabia, and sanctions against Iraq as motives. After evading capture for almost a decade, bin Laden was located in Pakistan and killed by SEAL Team 6 of the U.S. Navy in May 2011. The destruction of the World Trade Center and nearby infrastructure seriously harmed the economy of Lower Manhattan and had a significant effect on global markets, which resulted in the closing of Wall Street until September 17 and the civilian airspace in the US and Canada until September 13. Many closings, evacuations, and cancellations followed, out of respect or fear of further attacks. Cleanup of the World Trade Center site was completed in May 2002, and the Pentagon was repaired within a year. On November 18, 2006, construction of One World Trade Center began at the World Trade Center site. The building opened on November 3, 2014. Numerous memorials have been constructed, including the National September 11 Memorial and Museum in New York City, the Pentagon Memorial in Arlington County, Virginia, and the Flight 93 National Memorial in a field in Stony Creek Township near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Although not confirmed, there is evidence of alleged Saudi Arabian involvement in the attacks. Given as main evidence in these charges are the contents of the 28 redacted pages of the December 2002 joint inquiry into intelligence community activities before and after the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, conducted by the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence and the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. These 28 pages contain information regarding the material and financial assistance given to the hijackers and their affiliates leading up to the attacks by the Saudi Arabian government. As a consequence of the attacks, the United States of America is in a state of national emergency ever since 2001. Now, to celebrate the 18th anniversary of 9/11, here is the timeline of 9/11, at
Flashback.
7:59 am. American Airlines Flight 11, a Boeing 767 carrying 81 passengers and 11 crew members, departs 14 minutes late from Logan International Airport in Boston, bound for Los Angeles International Airport. 5 hijackers are aboard. At 8:14 am, United Airlines Flight 175, a Boeing 767, carrying 56 passengers and 9 crew members, departs 14 minutes late from Logan International Airport in Boston, bound for Los Angeles International Airport. 5 hijackers are aboard. At the same time, Flight 11 is hijacked over central Massachusetts, turning first northwest, then south. At 8:20 am, American Airlines Flight 77, a Boeing 757 with 58 passengers and 6 crew members, departs 10 minutes late from Washington Dulles International Airport, for Los Angeles International Airport. 5 hijackers are aboard. At 8:42 am, United Airlines Flight 93, a Boeing 757 with 37 passengers and 7 crew members, departs 42 minutes late from Newark International Airport, bound for San Francisco International Airport. 4 hijackers are aboard. At 8:46 am, Flight 175 is hijacked above northwest New Jersey, about 60 miles northwest of New York City, continuing southwest briefly before turning back to the northeast. At the same time, Flight 11 crashes into the north face of the North Tower, 1 WTC, of the World Trade Center, between floors 93 and 99. The aircraft enters the tower intact. At 8:50 am, Flight 77 is hijacked above southern Ohio, turning to the southeast. At 9:03 am, Flight 175 crashes into the south face of the South Tower, 2 WTC, of the World Trade Center, between floors 77 and 85. Parts of the plane, including the starboard engine, leave the building from its east and north sides, falling to the ground 6 blocks away. At 9:28 am, Flight 93 is hijacked above northern Ohio, turning to the southeast. At 9:37 and 46 seconds am, Flight 77 crashes into the western side of the Pentagon and starts a violent fire. At 9:45 am, United States airspace is shut down. At 9:59 am, the South Tower of the World Trade Center collapses, 56 minutes after the impact of Flight 175. At 10:03 am, Flight 93 is crashed by its hijackers as a result of fighting in the cockpit 80 miles, 129 kilometers, southeast of Pittsburgh in Somerset County, Pennsylvania. Later reports indicate that passengers had learned about the World Trade Center and Pentagon crashes and were resisting the hijackers. The 9/11 Commission believed that Flight 93's target was either the United States Capitol building or the White House in Washington, D.C. At 10:28 am, the North Tower of the World Trade Center collapses, 1 hour and 42 minutes after the impact of Flight 11. The Marriott Hotel, located at the base of the 2 towers, is also destroyed. At 10:50 am, 5 stories of part of the Pentagon collapse due to the fire. At 5:20 p.m., 7 World Trade Center, a 47-story building, collapses. As a result, nearly 3,000 people died.
End of flashback.
That is the timeline of 9/11. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel. This is Iggy Koopa, signing off.